Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, today we've got this really fascinating collection of stories from across the Starfleet universe. And we're not just looking at the familiar faces, we're digging for those universal insights they offer.
Right.
Our mission, basically, is to pull out the core truths. Stuff about courage, identity, communication, resilience.
All the ones.
Exactly. And see what these moments, these challenges and discoveries can actually teach us.
It is remarkable, isn't it, how these events that seem so different, a ship commissioning, a medical crisis, even a first contact,
Yeah.
they often shine a light on similar patterns. How people, individuals, and even whole societies handle pressure, uncertainty. It really makes you think, what can we learn about our own lives when we look closely at how others face their biggest trials?
Okay, let's start there then. Let's look at how people grapple with their purpose, especially when they're suddenly, thrust into these huge positions of responsibility.
Wow.
We can start with Thomas Holloway. He pops up at the commissioning of the new U.S.S. Enterprise.
Right, the engineer.
Yeah, and your sources paint this really striking picture. He felt Starfleet Command was, not for me. A core engineer, deep space exploration just, quote, left me cold.
Yeah.
So what's the deeper thing going on here?
Well, Holloway's journey, especially if you look at it through Picard's later reflections, it really highlights this complex dance between what you're good at and what people think you should do, your duty.
Okay.
Because Picard, initially, he judged Holloway pretty harshly, called him coward, basically.
Why? Because he turned down command?
Yeah, tied it to his family, maybe being scared after those pretty bad construction accidents on the Enterprise. Remember, people died. Engineers.
Oh, right. 15 engineers, wasn't it? The torpedo launcher and the nacelle explosion.
Exactly. Terrible incidents. But later, Picard himself, having faced loss and doubt.
Like with the Borg.
Precisely.
Yeah.
He reread Holloway's letter and, well, he saw the truth. Holloway wasn't a coward at all.
So it changed.
He realized Holloway did what he believed was right, despite all the pressure. He even took the U.S.S. Melbourne into that huge battle, Wolf 359.
The Melbourne? But wasn't that ship still being built?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Weeks from being ready. He went in with a skeleton crew, dock workers, engineers. Why? To protect his family. And he died doing it, sacrificed himself.
Wow.
Holloway had this philosophy, right, that there's a best tool for any job, and that for any tool there is always a perfect job.
And he applied that to people.
Yes. It's a powerful idea. Our true purpose isn't always what others expect. It's about aligning with who we really are, our actual skills and values. And, as he also said, a man alone is in bad company. Finding the right place, the right role matters.
So it's not just about declining command. We see this deep struggle with identity, with duty, in Stefan Deceive, too.
Oh, definitely.
The former Starfleet engineer who defected spent 2 decades with the Romulans.
That's him. His story is quite something, a real testament to redemption, I think.
Tell us about that. He came back to the Federation, but was on trial.
He was. For treason. Imagine living under the Tal Shiar, the Romulan secret police, in abject fear, as the source puts it. He'd grown really tired of their whole mindset, that clarity of purpose that he felt had turned, well, a moral people into predators.
Intense.
But then the Enterprise is in critical danger. There's this cloaked grenade, it's draining power. The warp core is going to breach in like 20 minutes.
And the main engineers are down. The forge.
Right. Unavailable. And Deceive sees this. He calls it his one chance to redeem a life that had been one long dishonor.
So he volunteered.
He did. To go into the Jeffries tube. Those cramped access ways, find the grenade, disarm it.
Yeah.
Amidst explosions, radiation, the works.
And he didn't make it.
No, he saved the ship, but sacrificed himself. His final act completely changed how Picard saw him. Not as a traitor, but as someone who died doing his duty.
It shows that even after huge mistakes, maybe there's always a chance for redemption, if you commit to something bigger.
I think that's exactly it.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Moving from, the battlefield and sacrifice to the bridge almost, to communication.
Ah, yes.
Another really fascinating theme from your sources is just how hard it can be to truly connect, even for brilliant minds. Let's talk about Data.
Our favorite android.
And his whole quest for emotion, especially when he hits the wall with the Temerian language. What did that puzzle show us?
Well, what's so striking, right, is that the Temerians don't communicate like we do. It's all illusions, metaphors based on their myths, their history.
So a standard universal translator just wouldn't work.
Completely useless.
Right.
Because it's not about translating words. It's about understanding the entire cultural context behind the reference. Their language isn't compact. It's built more for poetry than efficiency, as the source says. Their brains are just structured differently.
Okay, so Data tries to bridge that gap. How?
Logically, of course. He modifies his emotion chip using Temerian cognitive parameters, tries to sort of think like them to understand them.
And how did that go?
Not well. Not well at all. It led to what the text calls his own mental unmooring.
Unmooring.
Yeah, like a state similar to schizophrenia. His neural pathways can no longer remember which state they're supposed to be in. He gets angry, insensitive.
Oh, wow. Not very Data-like.
No. But Counselor Troi helps him. He recovers by falling back on his core strengths, his intellect and discipline, not the chip.
So he abandoned the experiment.
He did. Decided against it. Even quotes Polonius, to thine own self be true. He realized he could embrace his own emotions, his distinctly android emotions, rather than trying to borrow someone else's.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does real communication actually need? It's more than just language.
Absolutely. Empathy, self-awareness, maybe just the willingness to accept that others think in fundamentally different ways.
And it's not just androids having communication trouble. Lieutenant Barclay gives us a very human angle on this.
Barclay, yes.
Overcoming those deep personal barriers, specifically his telephobia. How did he handle that? And who helped him, surprisingly?
Well, Barclay's on this mission, right? Providing tech support for Ambassador Lwaxana Troi's negotiations with the Tatageans, who were reclusive.
And his telephobia is a problem because...
Because the Tatageans are mildly telepathic themselves. These amphibious bipeds described wonderfully as big talking frogs.
Okay.
So Barclay, being Barclay, creates a psychic baffler cap to block thoughts. Very typical.
Sounds like him.
But then there's a crisis with the delegates, and Lwaxana surprisingly becomes really helpful.
Lwaxana Troi.
Well, first, she uses her powerful telepathy to sense Barclay's fears. And apparently his fantasies concerning my daughter, the goddess of empathy.
Oh, dear. Classical Lwaxana.
Indeed. But then she does some pretty unconventional things.
Yeah.
Like disrobing to get at a hidden holodeck control panel to fix a malfunction.
She was?
Yeah, and she even uses the sacred chalice of Rix, basically a clay pot with a bit of mold, as a weapon.
We're kidding.
Nope. It just goes to show confronting your fears can bring unexpected allies and open up these new, sometimes really weird ways to connect.
Breaking down your own walls can unlock outside solutions, maybe.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
Okay. Let's pivot now to leadership, especially under extreme pressure. Moral dilemmas. Captain Picard's confrontation with Gul Madrid during the Dominion War. That's a huge example of mental strength.
It really is. And it's not just a reunion, is it? It's a direct continuation of Picard's torture from years before.
The 4 lights incident?
Exactly. Madrid keeps insisting there are 5 lights. Picard holds to 4 lights. But the real fight is psychological. Deeply so.
What was Madred's angle this time?
He was arguing that Cardassia joining the Dominion was actually a good thing. Saved lives, stopped aggression from Klingons and the Maquis. He even argued military lives are less valuable than civilian ones.
Trying to justify horrific choices.
Essentially. But Counselor Troi sees right through it. She points out to Picard, look, you're still his prisoner. Madrid is manipulating every single conversation just to keep breaking you down.
So how does Picard handle it?
Eventually, he steps back. He lets his security chief, Daniels, take over the interrogation.
And Madrid sees that as weakness.
Yes. Madrid is satisfied. He thinks he finally broke Picard, made him retreat.
But Troi says...
Troi reveals the real truth. Madrid is a bully, and ultimately the only way to defeat a bully is not to engage him. You won.
Wow. So victory wasn't about forcing Madrid to admit defeat.
No, it was about Picard maintaining his own integrity, his moral compass, by refusing to sink to Madrid's level, refusing to play the game. It really asks, how do leaders stay true when facing ruthless enemies and the awful demands of war?
Sometimes stepping back is the strongest move.
It can be.
And speaking of destinies, let's turn to Wesley Crusher, his journey on Dorvan V.
Yes.
Wesley.
Your material shows this really deep personal struggle for him, choosing between like an ordinary life and this much bigger, probably harder path.
That's right. He'd actively sought out a rootless, ordinary life, moved away from Starfleet, settled on Dorvan V with his wife, Mika.
And she was also escaping something. Yeah, tribal expectations, apparently. They were both looking for something simpler.
But then politics gets in the way.
It does. Their colony faces forced evacuation. A Federation Cardassian treaty suddenly designates them as trespassers. Puts Wesley right in the middle of a moral crisis.
And things get even stranger.
Much stranger. This mysterious alien shows up. The Traveler.
The one who's been watching Wesley.
Exactly. He reveals he's been a steward to Wesley all along, subtly manipulating events, making sure Wesley was in one place instead of another when Mika was in danger, things like that, all to guide him, to help him understand the greatness inside you.
Whoa. So, like, fate intervening.
Or something like it. The Traveler literally freezes time for everyone but Wesley, shows him memories of a very different Wesley Crusher, the one he could have been, and offers him a chance to go back to his original destiny.
How does Wesley react?
He's angry, actually. Angry at being forced to choose. He just wishes for ordinary days. But in the end,
He accepts it.
he accepts his extraordinary path. It really underlines the weight of choice, but also these unseen forces, maybe, that can shape our lives towards a purpose we didn't even know we had, or maybe didn't want.
Heavy stuff. Okay, finally, let's look at resilience. How it shows up in unexpected ways, and how life just persists.
Find the way.
Commander Raker's near-death experience on that Fabrini colony is a wild example. Severely wounded, heart missing.
Yeah, literally missing. Beamed out.
But kept alive by an alien lifesaver device. What does that ordeal tell us?
Well, Riker's experience there is just this raw testament to the will to survive and the power of connection.
How did he lose his heart?
Some Tellarite scavenger shot him with an unknown weapon. The effect was bizarre, like transporter after effects, and poof, heart gone.
Unbelievable.
So this Fabrini lifesaver thing keeps him preserved, but basically inanimate. And it sucks power like crazy if he tries to move.
So he's trapped.
Pretty much. But even then, he uses his authority as a superior officer to order Beverly Crusher to escape. Tells her, if I'm going out the same way I came in.
Still giving orders.
Classic Riker. And he tries to record a farewell message for Deanna Troi, his Imzadi.
His soulmate.
Right. But he finds he can't. He realizes their bond is so complete, especially since their romance rekindled on Baku, that there's actually nothing left to say. He stopped holding back.
That's profound.
It is. Eventually, Beverly, with help from Data and Geordi, manages to reimplant his heart.
So he makes it.
He makes it. It just highlights that incredible power of love, of connection, and that refusal to let anything, even having your heart beamed out, get between you without one hell of a fight.
Wow. And sometimes resilience comes from the most unlikely sources.
Oh, absolutely.
You sent notes about Worf being asked to find a new home for Data's cat, Spot, after Data died.
Yes. Poor Worf. Allergic to cats.
Right. Seems like a minor, almost comical task,
Oh.
but it leads somewhere important.
It really does. Spot, who starts as just this inconvenience for Worf, he even gets inoculated against feline allergens, turns out to be an effective predator, a calculating hunter.
The cat! Seriously.
Seriously, Spot starts tracking down these components of a new alien species, the Felidran.
What are the Felidran?
They're this weird Gestalt species. They'd smuggle themselves aboard the Enterprise piece by piece, basically to sabotage the ship, causing minor bugs, killed an ensign.
So the cat was hunting parts of the alien.
Exactly. The Felidran itself was suffering brain damage as its component creatures were found and eliminated. Spot's hunting helps identify the threat and stop it.
A cat saves the day, or helps save it.
Pretty much. And it makes Worf reflect on Data's death, too. He notes that Data, who always wanted to be human, ultimately died like a Klingon, earned his place in Sto-Vo-Kor, the Klingon afterlife.
It really makes you think, who are our true allies? Where does strength come from?
Sometimes the most unassuming companions, right? Even a cat.
Okay, one last example. The persistence of life itself across huge spans of time and space. The Narsosian first contact with Geordi LaForge.
Ah, the 600-year journey.
Yeah, a distress call that old takes the Enterprise to this place, Ascaria. What's the story there?
So the Narsosians, their homeworld was dying. Choked by pollution, clouds infused with centuries of pollution, they launched these scramjets, basically last chance lifeboats.
Aiming for Ascaria.
Yes. Based on a radio signal they picked up 50 years before they even launched. They traveled for 6 centuries.
It's incredible hope.
Absolutely. Geordi finds a mummified female Narsosian just waiting by a signal beacon, a really poignant symbol of that hope.
They all make it.
They made it, but they divided. Some, the Grounders, settled on Ascaria's moon. Others, the Clouders, adapted to live in Ascaria's atmosphere.
Living in the atmosphere? How?
They domesticated these amazing native life forms, Huge bioluminescent airship-like things called floats with oxygen chambers inside, and these pinkish squid-like creatures called flyers that use silken sails.
Wow, like something out of a dream.
Totally alien. But there's conflict, too, between the grounders and the clouders. The grounders are doing raids on the scramjets, tending communal gardens, and they're quite concerned about the clouders.
So even after 600 years and adapting to survive in clouds, there's still internal conflict.
Life persists, and so does conflict, it seems. Geordi offers Federation help, to reunite you or keep you separate, introduce you to the Federation or leave you alone. It shows our capacity to offer aid, understanding, even across these immense divides.
It's just a powerful reminder that life and struggle can exist in forms and places we can barely imagine. Even, possibly, a sentient moonlet reacting to particles the source mentions.
Exactly. Pushes the boundaries of what we consider life.
So wrapping this all up, what does this mean for you, our listener? We've seen personal courage against expectations, immense patience in communication.
Leadership with integrity, the sheer tenacity of life itself.
Right. These stories, they weave together this really rich tapestry, insights into the spirit of, well, everyone, human or otherwise.
Indeed. This deep dive, I think, has really shown us that growth, personal growth, collective growth, it often comes from facing what scares us.
Yeah, reevaluating what we believe.
And embracing things that feel uncomfortable, which leads us maybe to a final question for you to think about.
Okay.
Where in your own life might embracing a challenge or looking at something from a totally different perspective, where might that reveal an unexpected ally? Or maybe, just maybe, unlock a deeper sense of your own true purpose?